Okay, let's see if this works. I sure hope I'm in focus, because I'm not going to want to do this again. Anyway, my name is Grace, and I'm starting this YouTube channel because I feel like I have some knowledge and experience of things, especially acne related things, that could potentially help people like you, because I've struggled with acne for a long time. I'm 24 and I've had it ever since middle school, so however many years that is, it's been a long time. And so I have a few tips and tricks here of things that I've learned over the years, things to avoid, different things to use. I don't know, let's just get into it and I guess we'll see how this goes. Anyway, I've got a list here to make sure I go over everything, but what should I talk about first? I'm not sure. Primers maybe. I know a lot of primers are pushed to people who have acne or dry patches, and in my experience so far I've not found a primer that doesn't make me break out, and I believe this is because of one main ingredient, and that would be silicone, and that's what gives a lot of primers its slick, smooth feeling, which is really nice when you're applying makeup over the top of it, but bad for acne because it's going to clog up pores. And that silicone that's in primers is also in a lot of foundations. I have a few of them here, that's why I keep looking over here. Some of my favorites, these are some of my favorite foundations that I've had over the years. The Revlon Color Stay, I'm sure everybody knows this one. Estee Lauder Double Wear, this is just one of the best foundations I've ever used. It's got great coverage, but it makes me break out. And MAC, I know MAC makes a lot of great foundations and a lot of people really love these, but I know a lot of people have problems with them, and I believe that to be silicone based issues. Also the SPF in it, a lot of the times sunscreen can cause breakouts as well, so it's kind of a double whammy effect. You get the silicone and the sunscreen, and it's just wreaking havoc on the face. And Revlon Color Stay, this was one that I really liked for a long time because I thought it didn't make me break out. And it was when I had stopped using it was when I discovered that it does make me break out. And actually, let's take a look at the ingredients here because I'm not entirely sure. I haven't actually looked before. Yeah, so the third ingredient is dimethicone, which is a silicone derivative. And so this one, for me personally, it doesn't make me break out bad, but it's just enough to cause a continuous little breakout eruption type thing on my forehead, which is not something I want because it's not very pretty. I got some primers here. I've tried all sorts of them. You know, as I mentioned before, I can't use any kind of primers. I have an Estee Lauder one that I have. I've tried L'Oreal primers. I even tried, I forget what the brand name of this primer was, but it was a primer specifically for acne. It was supposed to help reduce breakouts and stuff like that, and that one ironically made me break out. It was the worst kind of breakout I've ever had. It was just like big, deep, like pustule type acne, and it was red and inflamed, and it hurt really bad. And that was almost an immediate reaction that I had with that one. So primers are a no-go. Let's see what else I've got here. A lot of treatments, a lot of oils can be great on the skin. Vitamin E oil is one that's really good for acne, healing up dryness and healing scarring, but not all oils are created equal. Essential oils can be really hard on the skin. I know lavender oil is supposed to be like really great. It's supposed to be calming for the skin, and you think it'd be great for acne because, you know, to help reduce the inflammation, but that one can really cause a lot of breakouts and issues. Tea tree oil, if I could say that right, is a good one for the skin because it has natural antimicrobial type benefits, so it's going to kill the germs or bacteria that's on your face that can you know, provoke acne and keep it going, keep it from healing. Another one, I've tried this little, I have this little concentrate that I've tried from Kiehl's. I don't know if you'll be able to see it there. But it's the Midnight Recovery Concentrate, and it's got essential oils, a replenishing elixir of essential oils. And I don't actually have the ingredient list on here, but you can smell lavender oil in it. It smells really nice, but again, it's one that makes me break out. A lot of moisturizers that are supposed to have benefits, or like it's supposed to be good for people with acne prone skin, also can have silicones in it because it makes your skin feel nice again, but a lot of those will cause breakouts. What I like to do, what I have found for moisturizing acne, because you don't, when you're trying to heal up acne, you don't want your skin to get too dry. If you've got dry patches on your face, or like a lot of dryness surrounding these pimples that you're treating, whether it's with like salicylic acid or benzoyl peroxide, you don't want that. If your skin's too dry, your acne is not going to heal. It's just going to keep, you know, flaking off and causing more problems. But on the converse side, you don't want, you know, too much oiliness either. If you've got like a grease lick going on, that could also prolong healing and cause more bacterial based breakouts. So anyway, what I like to do is take aloe vera gel, preferably not this green one, but it's all I've got right now because I need to go to the store. But if you take a little bit of that aloe vera gel in the palm of your hand, and then if you're treating breakouts, if you have an active breakout, it's good to use benzoyl peroxide. I use the, I don't know, the brand really doesn't make a difference as long as it's the 10% benzoyl peroxide. Let's see if you can see that there. Might be hard to see because of the foil packaging. No, not in focus. How about now? No? Darn camera. There we go. You got the aloe vera gel, a little bit, just like a pea-sized amount of the benzoyl peroxide, and then add like 3 or 4 drops of a vitamin E oil. This is just like a 10,000 IU pure vitamin E oil. I forget what the brand is because this is an old bottle that I used. I had a dropper because it's more convenient that way. But then you just kind of mix them together in your hands and massage it all over your face after you wash your face. Be careful to avoid the eye area because it will sting like mad, and if you actually get it too close to your eyes, especially if it's at night, I have this issue where my eyes will like water all night long. My eyes will be like, swollen by morning. Moving on, what else do we have here? So in the case of dry patches, sometimes you just have stubborn dry patches that won't go away, and I have a trick for this. Ooh, frozen. Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to finish on here because I need a cord to connect my camera to my computer, which I do not have. But anyway, let's just continue. What I was saying is I have a trick to this dry patch problem, and it's not one that you want to use all the time. but it works for the stubborn dry patch that you can't get off with a scrub. And that is tape, just regular tape. All you do is wash your face so it's completely clean. You want to dry it and don't put anything on your face. Take your tape and put it over your dry patch, and then peel off the tape, and that's going to peel off the dry flakes. And for as crazy as it sounds, it works really, really well. And sometimes you might have to do it a couple times to get all of the pieces of dry skin off. I know sometimes they can be stubborn, but you don't want to do it too much either. You don't want to do it, several days in a row, because then you can end up with like this red scaly patch that just won't go away. It can be, like a month before it goes away if you do it too much. Okay, so let's see what all I've talked about here. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is popping pimples, because I know that we're all told you're not supposed to, and you're not supposed to, but we all do it. It's just how it goes. So there's certain tools that you want to use if you must pop a pimple, and that is one of these weird tools with the loopy ends, and I struggled with this. I've had this for years, and I didn't actually use it until within the last year because I just didn't get how to use it. It takes some getting used to. And what I found works best for this is if you take a pin, like a clothespin. Let me grab one here. Use a pin that you'd use for sewing, like this one. I don't know if you'll even be able to tell. It's just like a little needle. But you don't want to use like a safety pin because those a lot of the times are made out of nickel, and a lot of people are allergic to nickel, like myself. So don't use nickel ones, don't use safety pins, just use like a regular sewing needle, and find the pore that is infected. And if you get up close with good light into a mirror, a lot of times you can see the pore. It looks kind of exaggerated and there's a lot of swelling around it, and don't jab it into the pore, but just kind of like get in there a little bit and kind of like open it up and like loosen it up a little bit. That's all you're doing really, is just like getting that entryway into the pore. And then take this, and I use this flat end here. I don't use this one too much. But if you put this then around that pimple, and you really have to kind of press with some like decent pressure. You're gonna leave an indent in your skin if you're doing it correctly. And then push down and kind of slide across the pimple. And you want to do it from a few different angles, like going this way and then this way over the same one. Then you can get more out of it that way. It's the best way to do it. But if nothing's coming out, then just leave it alone, because you're just going to make it worse if you keep, irritating it. This doesn't work over all areas of the skin. Like, it works great on the forehead because, it's hard. You got your like skull right underneath there. But if you're doing it like on your cheek where there's like really a lot of give, it's not going to work quite as well. You have to kind of like hold the skin tight if you're going to try it in an area like that. Otherwise, yeah, I just, like they say, try and leave it alone if you can. It's hard to do, but it really helps the healing process. Otherwise, there's a variety of tweezers that I use and don't use. So there's a lot of different shapes. I have these 3 shapes of tweezers. You can kind of see one's super sharp and pointy. I generally avoid that one unless it's for like blackheads around my nose. I'll use it for that one. But that can damage your skin. Like, you can make yourself bleed with those pointy ends. On these dull ones, I really don't use these at all besides for plucking my eyebrows. And then the other pair, this is the pair that I use most often. I don't know if you'll really be able to tell, but they kind of have a squared off end here, which, you know, is similar to this one, but a little more gentle because it's got that squared off tip, so you can kind of, if you press like evenly around a small area of a pimple, you can kind of extract it in the same way that this would, but in a smaller condensed area. It all takes some practice. You just really want to be careful not to damage your skin further if you are going to pop a pimple. I'll just put that disclaimer out there. Also, speaking of disclaimers, I'm not any kind of professional. I do have a bachelor's degree in biomedical sciences. I was a makeup artist under Estee Lauder for a while. And then with my experience personally with acne, that's all I'm going off of. So I'm not like a doctor, you know, I'm not a dermatologist or an esthetician. Just throwing that out there. These are just my suggestions, my tips and tricks. I should wrap this up though, because this is going to be a long video. What else did I have to talk about? Treatments, like different types of treatments, that could be an entire different video. I mean, there's a lot of different things. I mentioned the benzoyl peroxide is a good one. That one kills the bacteria on the skin. Salicylic acid is another good one. Salicylic acid really helps to helps the skin to slough off a little bit better. It helps the skin renewal process. So in kind of the same way that it can help small wrinkles and fine lines, it helps the turnover rate increase so that you don't develop acne otherwise. And that's really what a lot of the prescription forms of acne treatments do. I used to use Differin gel. I'm not going to show my name because prescription's on there, but this is one that increases the skin cell turnover so that you don't even develop acne in the first place. This one also is good for fine lines and wrinkles, but this is one that can cause a whole lot of irritation and a whole lot of dryness, and in the higher concentrations my skin didn't have the tolerance for this, but it really does work. So pros and cons, but everything's got pros and cons. I guess I'll kind of leave it at that. That was a lot of information, and I don't know if it all made sense. If things didn't make sense, ask me questions or, you know, whatever in the comments below, and I can definitely answer those questions either in the comments or by making a new video. You know, like I said, this was kind of my first video experience. I do have another video on my page, but it's one that I made like 3 years ago, and it wasn't very good, but I added it anyway just because why not? I don't know. But so that's all I've got for you today. I know it was a long video. Hopefully there will be more shorter videos, like a get ready with me or something. I don't know. We will see. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later, and thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe if you're new. Well, everybody's new. I only have one subscriber. And that would be my friend Rainy, because she's my favorite. Anyway, bye!